What if a hashtag could shake the foundations of power more than a politician's speech? Social media activism is often dismissed as slacktivism, a click without consequence. But when we look closer, especially at the Palestinian struggle in Gaza, it reveals a new form of collective power. For decades, mainstream media framed Gaza through the lens of conflict and security. Palestinians were silenced, their voices filtered through official narratives. But platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram changed that. Ordinary Gazans live stream bombings, share testimonies, and show the world the human face of suffering. Suddenly, stories bypass gatekeepers. This is what Manuel Castells calls networked power, the ability of decentralized digital networks to challenge dominant narratives. Hashtags like #FreePalestine and Gaza Under Attack spread globally within minutes, uniting millions. In Pierre Bourdieu's terms, these platforms create symbolic capital, a visibility and legitimacy that marginalized groups were once denied. A young Gazan with a smartphone now competes with state-run media outlets, creating a shift in who controls the story. Yet the struggle is uneven. Social media companies often censor Palestinian voices, deleting posts and accounts under vague community guidelines. This reflects what Jürgen Habermas described as the fragile public sphere, a space for debate that is constantly threatened by power and control. Digital activism opens space, but it is still policed by corporate and political interests. Real-life consequences show both power and limits. Viral posts about Gaza have mobilized global protests, sparked boycotts, and pressured governments. In 2021 and again in 2023-25, images from Gaza's bombed streets generated solidarity marches from London to Jakarta. But social media cannot stop bombs. It can only amplify voices. That is why critics warn against clicktivism, when activism ends with a share rather than translating into structural change. Still, symbolic action matters. Antonio Gramsci's theory of cultural hegemony reminds us that oppression is sustained by dominant stories. By refusing silence and flooding feeds with Palestinian testimonies, digital activism erodes consent to that hegemony. Silence normalizes genocide, but visibility resists it. The sociology of activism tells us this. Technology is not liberation on its own, but in the hands of people, it can become resistance. Gaza is proof. A besieged people, denied freedom on the ground, can still make their voices impossible to ignore in the digital sphere. The question is, will we let our activism stop at the screen, or will we use these digital sparks to ignite real-world movements of protest, boycott, and solidarity? Join this channel so we can keep unpacking the struggles of our time through sociology and history, and so together we can turn awareness into action.